Okay, no bullshit, you guys. I have been trying to record this video for 4 days. 4 freaking days. So, I came home from work at 5 p.m., sat down in my living room for 2 hours. My anxiety, my freaking nerves, everything has been going out of control. I've yet to give up on filming this video, this particular video. So, I went upstairs, just threw on my pajamas, threw my hair in a scrunchie, and now we are going to sit down and have a little chit chat, a little mom talk. Who doesn't want that? I lied, I had to get a beer. Okay, now we're gonna sit down and talk. Okay, so I figured the only way that I could talk about this topic is if I'm comfortable. That means hopefully you're comfortable, and this talk is gonna go just as smoothly as I've been trying to go for the last 4 days. So, hi, hello, if you're new, I'm Kylie. I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder on December 20th, 2017. And on top of that, I'm a mom. I had my son my junior year of high school. I was 16 and I came home with him on my 17th birthday. So yes, me and my son have the most wonderful story of us growing up with each other. And I always make jokes that I get to love my son a little bit longer than people who decide to have babies later in life. So this is the part where I have been struggling for the last 4 days to kind of push past. Because at the end of the day, no matter whether you have a personality disorder or whether it just be depression or anxiety, being a mom with any mental illness it's tough and it's hard. So I've been trying to ponder for the last 4 days how I can kind of go around making this video, because I know so many people are waiting for it. And the only thing that I could kind of concoct in my head was to talk about what I have learned having borderline personality disorder and being a mom, and not talk about all the bad times or any bad, awful, negative memories, because I've worked so hard on not to be negative, but to be positive and to move on with life, and just to always, always, always take a positive out of the negative, no matter how ugly that negative is. So first thing is first is I get my child involved with my mental illness. And I know that sounds crazy, and I know people might disagree with it, but I 100% get him involved. That might change depending how old your child is. My child is 10, so it is a little bit easier for him to understand. For example, the day that I was diagnosed, I think after 2 days, I sat down with him and I told him that mommy finally had an answer for why I was getting so angry and being so sad and always snapping. I had an answer, and that mommy was going to get herself better. So with that being said, every time I'm trying a new medication, I'm changing my medication, or if I don't think my medication is working, he is the first person who I tell. Also, with my son being at the age he is, I am also very, very, very fortunate to where if I had a really long day at work, and not physically, but mentally, I can come home, and if he wants to be all up in my stuff like a child does to his mom, then I am very, very, very straightforward, because I can get set off really quickly, even just with him not doing anything. But I kind of give him a heads up and say, listen, I had a really hard day at work with mommy's brain. I just need 5 or 10 minutes. And within those 5 or 10 minutes, I will go up in my bedroom and watch YouTube for a few minutes, or I'll jump in the shower, or I will sit down and watch my murder shows. I will take 10 minutes to myself. And whether my child is older or whether my child is younger, as long as they are okay, whether it be in their bedroom or them in a playroom watching a movie or anything, if they are safe for 10 minutes and if it's going to help your sanity, go sit down for 10 minutes and catch your breath. It is okay. And you have to tell yourself that it's okay for you to take 10 minutes and just kind of unwind, so you can put yourself in a healthy mind state, so you can be a better person. And that was the number one question I got from moms, is how I don't lose my patience, and trust me, I fucking do. But regardless if my child was 10 or if my child was 5, taking a breather is something I cannot emphasize enough on. If you can feel in your body that you are about to explode, you are about to have a manic episode, if you are getting really, really angry, to really first identify that in your body. So yes, that means putting your child, like I said, in a playroom, putting them on their Xbox for 10 minutes, or putting a movie on and you stepping outside, or you putting yourself in your bedroom for a few minutes, or even painting your nails and getting away from a situation. Anything that is going to calm your head, you need to do it, and it's okay. It is okay that you're feeling that you're gonna have a bipolar outburst. It's okay if you're about to scream and yell. But the trick is to kind of catch yourself before you're about to have an outburst like that, to where you can kind of calm yourself back down. It has taken me, like I said before in my other videos, 2 years to really identify that feeling. And when I am feeling that feeling, I let my child know first thing, especially if I've had a long day at work. I'm like, Bryce, listen, I've had a really hard day, not me physically, but me mentally. I need about 5 or 10 minutes to myself. Please go on your Xbox for a few minutes, or please go put on a movie. Let me calm down, and then I will come sit down and talk to you. And that's usually how it goes, and he's completely okay with that. And I can promise you, whether you have a little kid or a preteen, if you tell them to go on their Xbox for 10 minutes, they're not gonna say no. Another question that I got asked a buttload was how to feel as a parent that you are not making your child crazy. And this is still something that I'm struggling with. It's actually one of my triggers to like my anxiety and depression, is because that is my biggest fear, that my son is going to grow up and he's going to tell his friends that his mom was always in bed, constantly yelling. That's why I cannot tell you enough to get your child involved in your mental illness, because I feel like if you don't tell your children what is wrong with you, if there's anything wrong with you, and you just are constantly screaming and yelling and crying and feeling depressed, that's really going to mess with them. If you have an explanation on why you're doing it, then I feel like then that kind of opens their eyes and not only makes you feel better, but makes them feel better as well. Are there times where I will sit in this exact chair and I will bawl my eyes out because I feel like I'm an awful mom, and I feel like my son, like I just said, is going to grow up and tell all of his friends about, certain things? Absolutely. But at the same time, he knows that that mommy has something wrong with her in her head, and it's okay, and that doesn't ever affect my love for him. But it does give him an answer if I come home and I'm not feeling the best and I don't want to be touched and I don't want to be hugged right at that exact moment. If you guys were to have watched my last video, you would have heard me talk about how I really try to get a hold of certain situations so I know I'm not going to have an anxiety attack or an anger outburst. For example, when my son goes to bed, that's when I really take me time. That's when I do what I want to do that's really going to ease my mind and my body. I will write, I will read, I'll do a face mask, I'll do my nails, I'll watch my murder shows, I'll lay with my dogs, something that I know is going to put me in a really, really kind of peaceful state of mind so I can go to sleep and wake up in a peaceful state of mind as well. Does it always happen? No, but guess what? It's okay. Another thing that I will do as well after my son goes to bed is I will really try to pick up the house a little bit. I'll get things ready for the next work day, for his next school day, because if we wake up and we're rushing and we're quickly trying to get out the door, and that's when things all kind of miscombobulate and get jumbled, and that I know for a fact is going to set me off. So I will even try to wake up at a really decent hour so I am not rushing. I can have time to make coffee. I can have time to drink my coffee and do my makeup and make sure my son has enough time to get up and brush his teeth so we both can have a calm morning. Another question I was asked was, has my son gotten any of my symptoms from me? I'm not going to say yes and I'm not going to say no, just because I don't know if this is the whole nature nurture thing, or if he was born with it. My son does have OCD and he does have ADHD and he does have severe anxiety. All I can say when it comes to his anxiety attacks and my anxiety attacks when they're going together, that's when Sarah really is our superhero. A prime example of this was just the other night at dinner. We were eating out at a restaurant and all of a sudden my son just looked like he was gonna bawl his eyes out, and I for sure thought that he was gonna vomit all over the table. And he just starts crying because he was scared that people were going to be mean to him in middle school, which then got my anxiety going, because I'm like, oh my God, you know, regardless where you go, there always are going to be mean people, and I'm not going to be there to help be his superhero. And Sarah can kind of see the look on my face being like, oh shit, this kid's about to have anxiety. I'm going to have anxiety. And Sarah took Bryce outside and had to talk with him outside as I was inside talking to my mom. Now, I know a lot of people are going to hear that story and be like, well, you should have went outside and talked to him. But this is just how my family works, with my son having two moms who have borderline personality disorder and him having severe anxiety. Sarah being able to keep her composure through almost everything in life. If I were to have gone outside with my son and talked to him about that life stuff, I and him would have been in tears. I would have been looking at homeschool programs. I would have been a mess, and I wouldn't have been the strong mom I needed to be at that exact moment. So that's why Sarah went outside and talked to him. When he came back to the table and I had myself kind of gathered back up and he had himself kind of better and gathered himself back up, that's when I was able to talk to him with my mom and Sarah and said, listen, there's going to be bullies everywhere in life, and the only thing you can do is just walk away from a situation. And that's exactly what I do, and try to kind of push on my son, because I know if I'm in a really bad situation, the best thing that I can do as a person, as a mom, as a friend, is walk away from the situation. And that's exactly what Sarah did with Bryce, is she took him from that talk before it got really big and really sad and anxiety running all over the room, is to take him out of the situation and calm his brain and calm him down so we can move on with our night. At the end of each day, if you are a parent with a mental illness, or even if you're not a parent with a mental illness, everybody needs sanity in their life. Everybody deserves a calm brain. Finding something that will start your morning off in a calm way, or finding something that's gonna calm you down at night after a long day, is something that I almost live for. Like I said a million times, coming very in tune with your body and listening to what makes your body happy and what makes you feel calm is something that I can say 1,000 times. It's okay to be selfish, and it is okay to do something for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this helped at least one of you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. I'm going to link all of my social media down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.